Thank you, Representative. I know you said there was some exemptions or whatever you referenced where this is already the case where they can only be heard in Sangamon County or in Cook County,
yeah.
right? I didn't hear anything that represented citizens feeling that their constitutional rights were being assaulted. It sounded like only the state's attorney or out of state.
The sections that I referenced have to deal with the Attorney General of Illinois eliminating certain things or bringing actions, and the others have to do with the Collection Agency Act or the Community Association Manager License and Disciplinary Act by a person not residing in Illinois. That's correct.
So nothing to do with like an injured veteran in Boones County who is out of work and can't travel to Cook or Sangamon County that feels his constitutional rights have been violated. So he can go there and file now, but you want to take that right away.
We would make venue proper in Sangamon and Cook.
Again,
constitutional issues.
Someone, this is fine for people that can afford to do that, and travel. Could you again reference why there was a carve out for the unions? I mean, didn't we just pass that was a constitutionally protected? So wouldn't that fall under constitutional cases? Why would that be exempt?
I think collective bargaining disputes are large part have to do with federal law as well as state law, and the Taft-Hartley as well as Davis-Bacon Acts in large part regulate the collective bargaining actions. So I just think it's different.
So you would think that collective bargaining or union rights are more important than someone's constitutional rights? They should have access to a court and citizens should not? I'm trying to figure out, why they would be able to get access locally while someone else could not.
I didn't say that they.
Well, that's
their
what
rights,
it does, though.
Well, in your interpretation.
Okay. Is there another interpretation where people would have local ability to go to court?
We're saying when it comes to constitutional issues that venue would be proper in Sangamon and Cook County.
Okay. Well, I feel this law is going to adversely affect anyone that feels that their rights are being violated and basically take any constitutional action where someone feels their constitutional rights have been violated. Do you feel like when someone goes to court and they have to the rights to go before someone, a jury of their peers, does that make sense? Do you feel they should have that right?
A jury of their peers?
Yes.
On constitutional matters?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on any matter.
Well, I do believe in the right to jury trial, and I do believe in the right to jury of their peers.
Right. And why is that they want to be in front of a jury of their peers, that people that live in their local communities?
Well, if you are charged with a crime or you're injured, you have a right to, or there's a contract action, you have a right to a jury of your peers. The constitutional issues are generally not jury trials. The constitutional issues decided by the judges. And so what's happened over the last 3 years, I think there's been an onslaught of lawsuits that have strained the Attorney General's office. They've been brought, and clearly, and we know this, it's been judge shopping. And we're just saying that they're all going to end up here anyway. Why don't we just start them here?
Well, I think because you have multiple cases where people do get representation in areas of people who are like them, people from their communities, and that people should have that right to go before a judge that may not define or interpret the Constitution exactly the same way someone in Springfield or Sangamon County or Cook County does, and that's often the case. And you can say one is right over the other, but oftentimes these also go on to the Supreme Court and get overturned. So it's obvious that different judges interpret the law in different ways, just like different attorneys and different legislators do. I think that saying that someone can have a jury of their peers, but not a judge that represents in their communities. I think it's two different, the same thing, but in one instance it's okay, in the other it's not. And I think having people go to a court that is favorable to the government in many cases where we see them get overturned once they move on to the Supreme Court, I think is wrong. I think this violates people's constitutional right to be having access to the court system, and I'm sure we'll discuss it further on.
Yeah, I would just make this point, right or wrong, but if you look at the makeup of the Sangamon County judiciary, I don't believe there's a Democrat that is elected. And so I'm not saying Republicans look at the Constitution different than Democrats, but I'm saying if you're a Republican and you believe in Republican values, Sangamon County is as good of a venue as any.
I mean, freedom values, right? So
freedom values.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ones that are outlined in our Constitution that says that we have due process and access to court. So if I'm injured, out of work, Democrat, Republican, poor, rich, whatever, someone that can't travel to Sangamon County, or someone that can't, has never been to Cook County, to say that they can only defend their rights by going to those places, I think is a violation of due process. So I guess we can disagree there. Thanks.